potential to be very powerful in not only this move, but in your own life. The Eight of Cups failure is in the past position here. And so what I would say to you also is, if you want to do therapy later, go ahead. But during this move process, leave the past in the past. Don't be bringing it into the now. Now, the energy crowning you is about a painful period before rebirth. And so I think that this move for you is not only about rebirthing yourself into your own personal power, but also about really affirming what you want to the universe, because you're going to be encountering obstacles, especially over the first 10 weeks of this move, that are going to seem cumbersome and annoying. And so you want to buck up for those that are going to be happening. I also want to say to you, because you have Wheel of Fortune here right in the future position, that this is a great time for you to be taking a chance on yourself and a chance on your life. Now, a move is good for that anyway, but with the Wheel of Fortune present for you, it's a really positive indicator. And so I would say with this move, regardless of the obstacles present, realize you're very powerful and just go for it.
Great. That should be very encouraging for you, John.
That sounds good.
Yeah, go for it.
Bye-bye.
Very good. Okay, so you were telling us about the tarot, and you have created this deck, and how old is it?
About 4 years now.
4 years. Okay, terrific. So it took you that long to make it?
No, when I started working on the cards and designing them, I had actually met another author. Her name's Nancy Matz. She wrote, I believe, Between Two Worlds. And I didn't know her at all, but I'd seen her at a fair. And I walked up to her and I said, Nancy, I don't know you, but I just want to say, I'm so proud of you. You wrote a book. You're in Barnes & Noble. Good for you.
Yeah.
And she said to me, well, do you want to write a book? And I said, oh, no. But I've been thinking about designing a tarot deck. And she said, what's stopping you? And it hit me like a brick. And I thought, I'm stopping me. So she said, how about committing to design one card in the next 2 weeks? You know, and of course I thought, well, I'm making the commitment to myself, not her.
Yeah.
But I can always design one card and not do any more.
Yes.
Well, I did my first card, and it was the Ace of Stones, Abundance.
Yes.
First card I designed. I did that card, and I showed it to people, and they responded so positively. Within the next 2 months, I did 3 more cards.
Fabulous.
Then I showed more people. They were positive. And then I thought, oh my God, I think I'm going to design a tarot deck.
Yeah.
So I kept going.
Well, great. One card at a time.
Yeah.
Let's take a call from Christine. Christine, do you have a question of our guest?
Yes, I do.
Go ahead.
Mr. Martin, I'd like to know some insight on the relationship with my sister, please.
Okay, can I get your sister's first name, please?
Linda, Linda.
Okay. This is actually going to be really an easy set of cards for me to read for you.
Oh, that's nice.
The first card is the death card. Now that usually scares anybody when you get the death card in a reading.
Right.
However, the death card only means physical death if 2 other cards are present with it. They are not present. So what this is saying to you then is it means absolute change is necessary within the relationship you have with Linda. The next thing I want to tell you is you have the interference card here also within this. So the change has to be manifest around interfering energy no longer being present. And so I'd have to say for you that this reflects static energy between you and your sister. This would say right off the bat that that would need to change somehow, but it would have to absolutely change, not a gradual change.
An instant change.
Yes, it would have to be an instant change. Crowning you is the Father of Wands intelligence, and I'm going to tell you it's going to be a hard nut to crack, this static between you and your sister. I'm going to tell you that this has gone back for many, many years, and I want to tell you also that as smart as I believe these cards say you are, and I'm sure as smart as your sister is also, I have to say that both of you have been acting in a way that does not reflect being smart in resolving the static issue that's between you. Your outcome here is the Empress reversed, and so I can't say that that's a positive outcome. If I were to tell you honestly what's here, it would be that this static is going to continue because of not being able to solve the problem between you both. And so what I would hope then is that one of you somehow would take the high road and be able to start acting in a way that actually solves the real issues that are underlining this static that's between you. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, one of us, presumably me, is going to have to change my outlook, period, no matter what her outlook is.
Well, let's ask if it's you. I mean, why not? I'm here, you're here.
This is true.
I'm asking the cards if this is you that needs to take the lead action. And you're going to smile when you hear this because, you know, I think you've already just kind of said it, but here it is also. You have the Father of Wands leadership in the future position. And so that means you're the one who's going to be leading the way, carrying the torch, showing the way, shedding light.
Okay.
But it does still show painful period before rebirth here. And so again, I don't think this is going to be an easy issue. I think at best the two of you at this time have been in a state of truce. In other words, we're just agreeing not to agree, is how I would say it. And I'd have to say, too, that there seems to be also an exaggeration of minor issues into big issues also between you. Does that make sense for you?
Minor issues into big issues, or just minor issues being blown up?
Well, thank you. Thank you for helping me to clarify that, because sometimes I say things that make sense to me but are not well said. So what I want to say is I think there's going to be little issues that are really blown up into bigger issues, which they're not, like
Okay.
looking at a grain of sand through a microscope.
Gotcha.
Okay. But you're going to be the one leading the way on that. And so I feel you're going to be taking that on the chin more than once as you get this process going. And again, I don't feel it's going to be easy.
Well, she never has been.
Oh. Well, good luck to you.
Thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome.
Take care now.
Thank you very much.
So, Joseph, why do you do this kind of work?
Well, you know, at first it was novelty, to be quite honest. I was amazed that a deck of pictures could ever relate to anything in our real lives. You know, how could that connect in a way that would have meaning for us? And then when I started using the cards for me, that amazement turned into, I'm seeing a consistency of messages come through that have profound meaning. And that can't be just coincidence. There has to be something else driving that boat.
Well, I find that when I read for other people, somehow the messages that are coming to me from the cards are also speaking to my life.
Yes.
And so there's a double reading at many levels going on at the same time. Let's take a call from Mary, who's been waiting very patiently. Mary, what's your question?
My question was if Mr. Martin had another book or an addition to his cards coming out.
Oh, that's a great question. And over the last couple of years, I've had a lot of people asking me that. And actually, I've been a little bit gun shy, you know, because my first project won the award it won. So I'm actually, during this break, this winter break, I'm going to be writing a new book, and then I'm going to be starting another new book project. And we'll see what happens.
Okay.
My hope is it'll get all done within about a 3-month period.
Oh, well, good. So you're just going to be sitting down somewhere sequestered writing like a busy bee then?
Well, you know, I mentioned Nancy Matz, remember the author who inspired me to start my first card? And I asked her, I said, Nancy, how did you write your book? And she said, and pardon the expression, but she said, I sat my butt in the chair and I wrote it. So
Well, that's pretty direct.
I always remember that.
Very direct indeed. Okay, well, you're a very skilled computer person, a designer. Do you see any conflict between doing that kind of very linear, logical work and doing the cards, which is more intuitive?
Well, you know, being an artist, I always feel that, well, a lot of artists are psychic, and a lot of psychics are artists. So they kind of marry really well together, I think. When you're working in design for like a corporate client, the interesting part is you have to be very yin-yang. You have to be intuitively psychically creative, but then business linear to approach the actual work, especially for larger clients. And so it's a good exercise in being very balanced in one's approach.
Yes, very good at practicing being holistic. We have a Paul on the line. Paul, do you have a question? Hello, Paul. It appears that we've lost Paul. So let's go. Well, I'm getting